class. Professor Pyra here. Hey, I was thinking about how some of you are really struggling with inserting those in-text citations into the research papers that you're working on. Some of you are worried that the annotated bibliographies may have given you some information and now it's sort of shaped your thinking on your topics, and you're worried if you include that information that you learned, whether or not you might be cited for plagiarism. So here's how I want you to think about it. We're in the library here because I want to give you sort of a rundown of what to do as you're writing your papers. As you start to type your responses, and you're all working on different topics, and as you start to formulate what you're saying with your paper, you have referenced maybe you've looked back at your pre-writing exercises, and so you're creating this first draft, and you want to include information. And you remember that you learned the information in this book right here. So what you need to do is you need to pull that book out and essentially record the information as you remember it. But since you are a good researcher and you're concerned with the ethos of your argument, that is the credibility, you're going to actually look into the book and you're going to reference it. You're going to make sure that the information that you've provided is indeed accurate, because remember, double check. You know, what is it? Twice measure, cut once. So you're going to double check and make sure that you actually have the information correct, that you did understand it while you were working on your annotated bibliography. Okay, same thing with online sources. I know all of these are books, but these could just as well be online sources. So you might reference your online sources. But the thing is you have already created the bibliographic information, so there's no need to recreate it. All you need to do is to take the bibliographic information from your annotated bibliographies and paste it over onto your works cited page. And that's it. I mean, that is maybe a 10-second process, so you're not really spending a lot of time typing up your source citation in the works cited page. And then the other thing that you're going to do, of course, is in the body of your paper, as you've seen in the learning module this week, in the body of your paper, you need to make sure that you put the name of the source. And typically that is the author's last name and the page number. If it's a web source and there is no page number, just put the author's last name. And that's all you've got to do. Just make sure you do that. For direct quotes, anytime, think about it this way, anytime you look at a source and use information from that source in your paper, just cite the author's name and page number if applicable, and then make sure that that same source is in your works cited page at the end. Thanks for listening.